your concerns about H.R. 1?
Well, just like the minority leader just said, I mean, it's just, this is a shameless power grab by the Democrats. They foisted so many irregularities and anomalies and changes in our local election system throughout the country in the name of COVID back in November of 2020, and I think most Americans feel like there were some really, really fraudulent and very irregular things that were happening. And now with this bill, H.R. 1, there's the Pelosi's top priority. They're going to codify. They're going to put all these changes that came about in our election last time because of COVID and put it into law from now on. And so I couldn't agree more. This is not for the people. This is for the Democrat Politicians Act. Exactly what it says.
Congressman, this bans voter ID. It also bans witnesses, signature witnesses for absentee ballots, in addition to legalizing and mandating some form of public campaign finance. When you talk to moderate Democrats, how do they defend such an extraordinary power grab away from the states, who are, by the Constitution, are supposed to manage their own elections?
They fall into lockstep, Tom. They really do, and they know this thing is as shameless of a power grab as anyone could ever want to see. It's a takeover of our election process, and you know, this is something going to give them a permanent advantage in elections going forth if this thing passes and goes through the House, Senate, and then is signed into law. There's so much wrong with it. It packs the Federal Election Commission with Democrats, weaponizes the internal revenue system, the IRS. It throws out voter ID laws. You can't even ask for a voter ID, an identification card. You can't verify who's voting here. You have to take that person's word. They use Department of Motor Vehicle databases, local and state lists of people, and automatically register them to vote. Voting is a privilege. This is one of the rights we have. This is not a mandate. It's a right we have, and just to automatically register people, I think, is the wrong thing to do, because they're registering people that many of them are dead. And we had thousands of dead people that actually voted back in November, allowing for convicted felons, illegal aliens, legalizes drive-through voting. It allows ballot harvesting to continue, mail-in ballots to everyone that wants to, can't verify them, and then accept them up to 10 days after the election is over. That's just incredible. That's ballot harvesting, and it's inexcusable.
You know, we just wrapped up CPAC, and the #1 concern among folks is election integrity. So how do we accomplish that without something like this? And also, what would stop this from being passed, H.R. 1?
Well, #1, we have got to get state legislatures. Sadly, many of these states, we had 6 states that had some of the most unbelievable anomalies, weird stuff, bad things happening, obvious fraud, and many of these states had Republican-controlled legislatures. #1, we've got to get these Republican legislatures to vote and make sure that their state laws are never overturned for any reason, whether it be COVID or anything else. These things cannot stand, and that's what's happening with this. And quite frankly, this is not going to restore the integrity of our election process. It's going to do the exact opposite. And the Democrats, ironically claim that the 2020 election was an unblemished, a great election, no anomalies at all, and yet they're forcing us to vote on a bill to completely overhaul our voting processes and make changes implemented because of COVID be permanent.
Right.
So what's changed?
Well, Chuck, Chuck Schumer has S1, which is basically the mirror image of this bill, and it now goes to the Senate, and we're going to definitely be keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, very important.
Going forward. Congressman Brian Babin, thank you very much for being with us.
Absolutely.
Great
Thank
to see
you.
you.
God bless.